The only reason why an African country will be poor is because the leaders are thieves. Africa is a very rich continent. The only reason why an African country will be poor, with bad roads, bad infrastructure, no food, no opportunity, no nice schools, no nice hospitals that is free, is because the leaders are thieves. As simple as that. It has absolutely nothing to do with the age. I used to think smart people and wise people were necessarily old. It's a lie. Young people are very wise in some instances. One of the cases is this man right here, Ibrahim Traoré. You know him. You've heard about him. He continuously doing some great things, and I'm shocked. You should be too. 37 years old, not looking to buy a supercar. He doesn't have any. Look at this guy. He's the Equatorial Guinea vice president, the son of the president. Look at the cars that he's got. Look at the houses that he owns. Look at the villas. Look at the lifestyle he has. But how are the people of his country living? That explains to you exactly what's happening in Africa and why some of the Americans need to send money through the song of Michael Jackson. We are the world. We are the children. So that they could potentially help Africans. Africans do not need help. They need people like this guy. Here is Ibrahim Traoré handing out some great equipment. These are equipments to build road for Burkina Faso. As you can see, you notice Burkina Faso is kind of red. Okay, the ground is reddish, and the red ground can make a lot of damage on clothes and many stuff. And the president handed a batch of equipment on December 10th to the Presidential Initiative Faso Mebo, to the military engineering corps. So the military engineers are building the road in Burkina Faso. Watch.
On behalf of the people, I am handing over these machines to you. That makes 2 separate batches as he presented. This will allow you to pave the streets you've already started with red earth, and the other batch will be used for earthworks with the engineering corps involved. You will see them both on your construction sites and also on the sites of our defense forces. So this is to move quickly with earthworks and the construction of infrastructure for the benefit of our forces and our people. So make good use of them, and we will be here to support you throughout this day of work with these 16 machines. Thank you.
So let me stop right there. Look at the way he's looking at this gentleman on the left, who is a soldier himself. The president is not looking at him with superiority complex. Okay, he's looking at him like he's looking at a brother. But he's the boss. Do you see that? Can you see that? Let's continue.
Understood, Your Excellency. We are committed to implementing this on the ground in accordance with your vision with speed and ingenuity. Who can display it? Thank you.
See that? He goes like this, then he taps his hand. He goes like this when he taps his hand. Like, he doesn't have to do that. He's the boss. You don't have to tap nobody's hand. You're the boss. But he goes like this, he taps his hand because he understands the value of human beings. Let's go.
So as I said, I think the best is the strongest.
No, look at the way he's speaking to this gentleman here. He's much older than him. But look at Traore. His body language is still very African. This man is a senior. He's an older person. I owe him respect, even though I'm the boss. Look at the body language. And you can see the gentleman looking at him back. He knows he's his senior in terms of age. And he also recognizes, I know I'm your senior in terms of age, but you're my boss. Let's go.
The pace now needs to pick up. Absolutely. There you go. That's everything. With 100 cities, the forces need to be able to move very quickly and get to where they're needed. So good coordination, and I think it should work. Very good. Thank you.
Greatness has nothing to do with age, brother. Wisdom has absolutely nothing to do with age. If you look at most African countries, people in politics are old people. You look at countries like Cameroon, look, this is the president. He's 92 years old. Been there for a long time. The people around him are 70-something, 80-something. That's the crew. Those are the people that control the country. If you go to some other countries as well, it's old. Presidents are old. This is a young man, and he's doing a tremendous work. He understands that a country needs road. Without roads, you're going nowhere. He doesn't need to buy himself villas and supercars while the country is in misery and difficulty. Now, what is he doing? What can the roads do for a country? We need to understand that. I think it's very important. Well, roads are very necessary because well-maintained roads allow farmers artisans, and businesses to transport their goods more quickly to the local and regional market. So you can see farmers and businessmen can trade and act very swiftly and produce money, creating an economy where everybody profits from. Without the good road, that's not possible. You know, with good roads, you spend less time from going from A to B. Fellas, let me give you context. Many African countries that don't have good roads. Okay? Maybe this is a very complicated conversation for you. Many African countries do not have good roads. Good roads are seen in the capital. Okay? In the capital, you see some nice roads. But if you start going inside, you'll cry. If it rains, you'll cry. If the conditions change, you'll cry. So it becomes very difficult. And some of these African countries, what they do is what? They will make sure they clean the roads in town. You know, where in case a president from another country will come and visit, you won't feel ashamed because it looks nice. You just need to go over the couple of kilometers. You'll be shocked. Now, Traore doesn't want this anymore. You see these countries, none of them is exempted. Some countries are doing better than others, but none of these countries is exempted. In some countries, you'll be absolutely shocked and disgusted on the situation. While there's no road, some of the leaders are driving Ferraris. Imagine you have a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, or I don't know, whichever the other one, in a country where there's no road. How small of a brain do you have as a leader? So I was saying, what are roads important for? For reducing cost of things. You know, it becomes very easy because when transportation is easy, things cost less. Well, I need to give you another example. Somebody that did some great things. This man right here, John Pombe Magufuli of Tanzania. Have you ever heard of him? Very strong figure. Pombe Magufuli was named Bulldozer. Okay? The bulldozer. Why? Largely because of his strong push for road and infrastructure development. He believed without good roads, you cannot have a good economy. This man right here. This man was in power for some years. And during his power time, he never went one time to Europe or to America. Whilst he was president, he never went to nobody's country that was in Africa. Matter of fact, I think he went to only 5 countries in Africa. He went only in Africa. And he only spoke in Swahili, his native language. He spoke no English in his mouth to show authenticity. Bulldozer Magufuli was hated because he wanted the interest of Tanzanians. He wanted to create something deeply African. Well, he accelerated development in Tanzania. He argued that without good, reliable roads, you cannot have a great economy. He also cut costs. He cut costs and delays. You know, good roads, lower transportation costs. You know, it makes things much easier. John Magufuli built something very interesting, fellas. He built the Kingongo-Busisi Bridge. I think it's called the John Magufuli Bridge. From Kingongo to Busisi. This is the longest bridge in Africa. 3.2 kilometers. This man built. The longest bridge in Africa was built by this man, John Pombe Magufuli. It cost about $260 million. If you give that to some other president in Africa, he's going to eat that money. Eating the money in African means spending the money on yourself, buying cars and houses, marrying more wives than necessary. Pombe Magufuli was all about work. He cut cost of the government. He said from now on, no government official will fly first class. Finish. You don't need to waste money like that. We're going to spend the money on the people. We're going to spend the money to do work. Tanzania changed when this person was in power. Okay? When he built this bridge, 3.2 kilometers, okay, what happened? This replaced ferry dependence. Okay, it replaced ferry dependence because people used to cross that water using ferries. You can see these ferries here. This is Tanzania. There's a lot of them. Now, who owns the ferries? Well, people that own the ferries, they may be Tanzanian by nationality, but they don't look Tanzanian. Okay, they look Middle Eastern. Whether they are Tanzanian or not, I don't know, but they are Middle Eastern of origin. These are the people that own the ferry. They were making money every single day. Every single day. He built the bridge. When he built the bridge, it reduced dependency on the ferries, cutting travel from hours to minutes, opening economic opportunities around Lake Victoria. That's this man, John Pombe Magufuli. Now, I don't know if that is very possible in South Africa, for instance, because in South Africa, people that control the roads are taxi drivers. A country like South Africa, you can't really build underground train, like, you know, going from one place to the other, making transportation easy. It's going to be very difficult. Why? Because the road is owned by taxi drivers. It's a mafia, not the term. You don't play with taxi drivers in South Africa. They have guns, Kalashnikovs. They're going to unalive you as a governmental official if you dare suggest an idea along the lines of creating an underground, tunnel that's going to transport people from one place to the other. You're going to be cutting their client. They can't accept that. Anyway, Magufuli was not about that life. Everybody that stood against him on that project was stopped. Now, Ibrahim Traoré is doing a great thing. The next thing that he's doing right here is going to have a great political impact. The political impact is the army in service of development. So it's the army engineers that are working through this road project. And by doing so, what's going to happen? It's going to demonstrate that the army is not only a defense instrument, but it is also an actor in national progress. Isn't that amazing? When a soldier feels that he's participating in national progress. This is amazing. I'm overwhelmed. I can't breathe. Africa is poor because of poor mentality of leaders. Selfishness, greed, lack of empathy. That's why Africa looks poor. Some leaders are driving big cars in places where there's no road. I don't know how you can explain that. That's why Trump calls it shithole. How do you feel about Traore? I want to know. I know he's not perfect, but tell me how you feel about this man. God bless.